All right then, good afternoon everybody and welcome along for the first time ever here in WRC. It is, of course, as some of you can see, a brand new league, but of course you wouldn't really suspect that from the numbers we've got here today. 17 people on the grid, ladies and gentlemen, for this one this evening. And I've got to say, what a turnout for the first round of this brand new season and brand new league, of course, WRC World Racing Championship, and we're very much hoping today goes smoothly, of course. I've heard that the drivers are fairly clean, but as you know, of course, new league races, sometimes it can go a little bit badly. Today, hopefully, it doesn't happen that way. We'll find out, though. But either way, my first time here as well, first time in the commentary box for this league, on my own tonight, but we are live, everybody, on the Jack Crossley Comms Twitch and the WRC2, as already in the chat, Wolfie. How did they do that on the timing board? I've done it myself, mate. I'm going to do it for CPG as well. I basically just put a gradient thing over the top of the timing boards on I can't even get my words out, on OBS Studios, and then just put the logos on. So if you think it looks good, I'm going to do that for CPG as well, but that looks pretty good, doesn't it, actually? Yeah. So that is quite good, and then we've got one for the race as well. The first round of the season, and we find ourselves here in Belgium, ladies and gentlemen, 17 drivers, and you know what, we're going to go through them right now on your screen in a moment. Don't worry, it is going to say the standings, but I assure you it isn't the standings. We haven't actually got any yet, so I'm just going to use this graphic to go through the first two things, as you should still be able to see the main feed. Here we go then, everybody. The driver lineup for this season, and it's looking pretty good. We've got Venom and Nova Piper then, who occupy the McLarens. We've got MCL 85 and Reaper in the Ferraris. Honestly, cannot see what the Red Bull says. We'll have to take a look at that on the game. But we've got Fozy in the Red Bull with the other guy. We've got two Aston Martins of Wizard and Meloon here this evening. Blake and Matt Connor in the Hasses. Andy J. Price and Humboldt in the Williams. It is Drippy and Billy in the Kick Sauber. Sidemen and F1 Mikey Boy in the RB. Hoare and Zazapi in the Alpines. And Vat of Caramel and Ollie Southall then in the Mercedes. Not all here this afternoon, but 17 drivers. Majority are. We're going to go from the calendar then to the line, from the lineup to the calendar, everybody. The calendar on your screen this season, and it is looking quite nice. Only 8 rounds for this first season with the 50% races we have. We start here today in Belgium, then we go to the USA for round 2, Singapore round 3, round 4 is Canada, then into round 5, which is Miami, the USA again, Bahrain for round 6. It is the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix for round 7. And then we round off with Abu Dhabi, which makes me so happy because these guys get it. They absolutely get it. Abu Dhabi, last race, has to happen. And I'm very, very happy about that, ladies and gentlemen. But back on the main feed we are. Again, I miss doing competitive racing online, even though I'm... Shit. Oh, man, I just realised the only one thing about the graphic that I've got is, of course, you're not going to see the yellow flags, or you're not going to see the safety car graphic. I'll have to think about that at some point. But for now, it's all good. Let's do make a dream team for F1 leagues. I make the worst team for F1 leagues. Right then, everybody. I wouldn't say you do that, Pro Gamer. I think you'd be quite mean about yourself. But we've got a lot of people then in the main chat, and qualifying times are coming in. F1 Mikey Boy with 1:42.9. He sets the pace today. And he is much, much quicker than P33 in second place right now. Zazapi, he's in third right now with Fozy in fourth, everybody. But behind that, it's Drippy. He's on a flying lap. Andy J. Price, too, who has actually invalidated this time around. It's IF1 of Venoms in the McLaren. He's on his lap around as well. as MCL2, he crosses the line, and it's provisional pole. That is fairly decent then to kickstart this off today. He puts himself provisional pole in the Ferrari, which is brilliant to kickstart this afternoon off, and will fill him with confidence going into this race if he can maintain that position. But a long way to go yet, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you all in the chat as well. Hopefully we can get some people typing in the WRC chat tonight. Of course, first time it has ever been live. And it is looking all good so far, but if you see any issues, let me know. Another thing I want to address as well is we are doing post-race interviews tonight, everybody, after the race on stream. So if any of you fancy being interviewed, you know, if you've had a good race or even if you've had a bad race, make sure you send me a DM on Discord, and I'll let you know when you can join the interview voice channel, so we can have a quick interview. But yes, it's a bit of a longer stream tonight due to that. Hopefully you enjoy it, because it works quite well in a lot of leagues that I commentate on, and I think it could work well here today. Qualifying then, looking quite nice. You never normally can quite tell, you know, if it's going to be a clean race through qualifying, because of course it's single lap times, not really, you know, the same kind of thing, but it's going to be going into the race, the first lap of the race, where I really see, you know, the pace and the cleanness of these drivers here today, and how well they can work and drive together. We'll find out. Still really in the early stages of qualifying though, and 8 drivers have set times on the board. 17 are here tonight, and I've got to say, for saying that this league started 7 days ago, the turnout is absolutely beautiful. It really, really is, and props to the boys that got it working together in those 7 days, because I know it can be hard. 17 drivers being brought over is superb. And we look for a driver to cross the line for a lap here. Billy then, is he into third, or was he already there? I'm not entirely sure, but he's into third now. As I'll move down the grid, see if we've got anybody. Ollie Southall then in the Mercedes. And I've just caught the last glimpse of that, but it was fastest in the middle sector here in Spa. Could be decent, could be very decent, but he's going to head towards the final few corners now. Will it be a good lap for him? Fuel light is on. Will he cross the line, or will he go into the pit lane? He goes cross the line. 43% battery left. He's not even burning it, but he's going to cross the line now, everybody. What will Ollie do? He puts himself in P8. Blake is in 11. He seems to be on the lap at the minute, but dipping his toes onto the grass. As in the chat, mine is nearly 3 years old and on a rebuild. "7 days ago they made this league and have this many drivers." Yes, mate, it is good. It's very good. They've done a good job. Andy J. Price then over the line. He starts his flying lap in P12. Hasn't set a time yet today, but this is it, a lap for him. And I've just saw, as well as Mikey Boy did put something in the chat, one of the main things of tonight, if you're in the chat tonight, please do not do this, and do not ready up, everybody. You know, after qualifying, please do not ready up after qualifying / on the grid. Wait until you've been told you can do. That is an issue in a lot of leagues that are racing, and hopefully you guys don't do that tonight. Please don't retire on the track as well. Pit lane only, and be mindful in qualifying. If not on a lap, stay offline. That is some of the words that have been said. Like I mentioned, good to see some in the chat. Nova Piper into second place, and Maloon then into third. Decent qualifying from them so far, ladies and gentlemen. Very decent. But yellow flags being thrown all over the track, meaning that we can't see how long is left. But hopefully we can see that fairly soon. Just looking out for it. Yellow flags in these sectors 2 and 3 due to the amount of drivers that are here today. It is a given, really. You know, drivers waiting on the side of the track. It's very busy on the track today as well. But I'm looking forward to the race. Hopefully it can be kept clean. The shortest race on the Formula 1 calendar because of how long the track is. And Drippy is gonna head up towards the line then. He takes P5 with a 10th improvement. Not all bad for him. As Ollie Southall then, he's looking like he's going to be going into the pit lane now. That'll be the end for him. Blake in 13, heading very slowly around the track, maybe getting ready for a lap this time around. It's possible. Fosie's round, everybody, here in qualifying in P14. Spinning around, the man at the back of the grid at the minute on time, and his tyres full of bits of grass as he brings himself back onto the circuit, but that is not really going in his favour at all. So we've got the Sidemen here today. Sidemen puts himself in 7th position with 1:43.499, and it's about half a second then, about 4 tenths actually, between him and Billy Mewis in 6th. But qualifying shaping up to be quite nice at the minute, and quite close up at the top, quite close in the middle as well. So this is shaping up to be nice. And very much so, as MCL 85, that man could be on pole position today. We haven't seen the timings for a while because of how many yellow flags we're getting. Only 1 yellow flag now, though, in the 3rd sector, and that could go away soon, and we can find out. There we go, 6.5 minutes of qualifying to go. So now, in the latter stages of this session, and it's going to be good. It is already being good, and you can see then the Red Bull mechanics coming out, the Red Bull's in the pit lane. That should be the Red Bull of Fosie after spinning around. Wolfie in the chat, 10 hours of working on the rebuild for better racing and now racing. Jack commentate, what a great ending. And watching Jack commentate, what a great ending to the day. Good to hear it, mate. Tonight should be nice as well, of course. Like I mentioned, we've got the post-race interview, so it's going to go on a little bit longer than usual. And, you know, first time commentating in this league, going to be nice to get to know some people and, you know, hopefully settle down here for this season. That would be quite nice. But in the chat, brilliant commentary so far we've had. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Yes, I'll do my best for you tonight, guys. Never normally get nervous, but a bit nervous tonight because I've not had a new league for so long. I really haven't. It has been a long, long while since I've commentated a brand new league, really. Oh, Sidemen with a very late decision into the pit lane as he does go in there, hit the wall a little bit in the chat. That gamer, sorry, I've got to go. No worries, mate. Thanks for joining us for this bit at the start. I appreciate that. Have a good evening. It's P33 in the Red Bull. He's on his way around. We saw his teammate earlier on spin around. 6.5 tenths up in the middle sector. This man is having a very good lap so far, ladies and gentlemen. What can the Red Bull do in P12? A 1:43.8, 1/10 of a second between him and Matt Connor, the man in front of him. And I'm sure he wants to get more than that. We've already seen him gain 6 tenths in the middle sector. We didn't catch the first, but if the middle was that good, the first must have been even better. Here comes P33. He crosses the line. It's P7 with a 7/10 improvement. A big jump then from his previous time. And that is fairly decent then for the Red Bull. It really is. His teammate isn't really anywhere near him, down in 16, so they're not going to be able to work as a team as much as they might want to. I mean, the closest knit team right now is looking like the Kick Saubers of Drippy and Billy Mewis, 5 and 6. They're looking pretty decent, aren't they, at this moment in time? But Billy Mewis is starting a lap, and you know what? We haven't watched the full lap all the way through. We're going to see Billy Mewis now into the first corner, taking a nice line then. It's lovely on the exit, and the car seeming to respond to him exactly how he wants it to. People who start on pole then, heading up towards Eau Rouge and to the top already on the Kemmel Straight. They might just struggle to stay ahead. 17 drivers behind them, trying to keep P2 and P3, P4, whatever behind them. It's going to be a tough job. They're going to get absolutely out-dragged down into, you know, turns 3 and 4. And Billy Mewis, with a 2 tenths up, could get a bit closer to pole position. I mean, he's not far off, is he? He is not far off at all. Pole position right now with a 1:42.755. He's on a 1:43.088. That is not a lot of time to gain, and we've seen that chunk of time being gained already today from some of the drivers. It is possible, and Billy Mewis, he could do this. He really could do this in qualifying. We're going to keep on board with him then in the Kick Sauber, hoping for a bit of improvement then, heading into the end of the second sector here in Spa, and looking fairly decent, but we'll have to see the timings to let us know that. Oh, I mean that is decent. That is very decent. 6.5 tenths improvement for Billy Mewis. If he keeps this up, it is definitely pole position for the kick salvo. That is pole position time and even more. Can he hold it towards the line? Then the middle sector was absolutely superb. Billy Mewis looking for pole position tonight. He can definitely snatch it away from MCL. He's going to cross the line here in Spa. Billy Mewis on pole, everybody, with 2 minutes to go. What a time. Massive time, found in the middle sector. And it all checked out at the end. A 1:42.3. Billy Mewis. That is a strong pole time. Is it going to be beaten here in Spa then? Can it be beaten by the drivers joining us this afternoon? Wow. Billy really shocking us tonight and clearly labelling himself as a championship contender in the very early stages. Of course, only 8 rounds in the season, so every race counts massively. It really does with 8 rounds. Every race counts massively. You can't afford to waste any races, and Billy is definitely setting himself up to be one of the best in the early stages. MCL2, Nova Piper's looking pretty decent, but man, that time, the gap between Billy and MCL is huge. Everybody behind him, though, are on their outlaps, and we're going to see a massive load of times coming in now then for the end of qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be very good indeed, and I'm going to struggle to keep track of everything because there's a lot of drivers heading around the track at the minute. But we're going to try and check for the drivers that are on laps. We've got Wizard starting one now. Blake, he's massively down. Fozy has invalidated, so it's looking like only Andy J. Price right now, heading down towards the end of the first sector. And he could be improving, but he is 2.5 tenth improvement actually. So we'll keep on board with this and see if he can, keep this sector strong in the middle now. The first was superb, very good indeed, and already would get him into P9 if he finished with that improvement, I believe. So we'll find out if he can get that or more. Hoping for more, of course he is. But P11 for him, just outside of the top 10. Can he creep into it? With the fuel lights on, he is running as light as a feather, lightest that he could ever be then here in qualifying on the soft compound tyres, and that Williams seems to be flying through Sector 1. Could Sector 2 say the same? Here comes Andy J. Price. It's gonna be an improvement. It is 4.5 tenth improvement actually, and it's seeming to be every driver making massive improvements then so far. Andy keeping up that streak. The first and second sectors were sublime, and now he wants to do the same for the final third. He's got the fuel light on, like I said, as light as a feather, which is going to massively help him then on this time around. He won't get anywhere near this time in the Grand Prix because he is running so light right now. And Andy J. Price over the line. Can Price take pole or anywhere near it? No, he can't, but it's P9 and a decent improvement then. A very respectable improvement from 11 to 9, and he is in the top 10 at this moment in time, starting for the Grand Prix. But let's have a look then. Who is closest to the line? We're going to have a look. There's an Aston Martin. I think it's Wizard. He's starting a lap soon, so we're going to go to his teammate Maloon then in P4, and he is improving. This is looking good. He's going to head towards the end of this lap now, and it will be his final time today, ladies and gentlemen. This will be it for Maloon in the Aston Martin. His teammate nowhere to be seen. He's in P4 and wanting to strive for higher over the line. He does snatch second place at the end, and a huge improvement of 3 tenths nearly. Maloon onto the front row of the grid here in qualifying. Who's going to take it? Well, Mikey boy, what a time. 1:42.2. He takes pole by a tenth, everybody, here today in qualifying. But will he hold it? It's MCL who's finding time as well, and a Haas car who's coming up towards the line. Here comes MCL. Will the Haas get any improvement? It's Matt Connor up into 7. MCL over the line now. Can he take pole? He takes P4. No more improvement there. Only half a tenth from him. Nova Piper is up 4 tenths of a second. That is not enough right now to take pole, but it could near enough get him on the front row of the grid. Is this going to be the lap for him? In the top 5 right now. He wants to go even higher than this. Lots of lag we can see from him at the minute. He's going to cross the line. Is it fast? He crosses the line. He does get on the front row of the grid and absolutely smashes it. Billy Mewis then in 3rd. It is Somatic Coast in 4. Meloon 5, MCL 6, Sidemen gets into 7, Matt Connor 8, Drippy in the pit lane in 9, P33 10, Andy J Price in 11, Ollie Southall is 12, Zazapi in 13, Venoms in 14, Wizard 15, Blake 16, and Fozy in 17. What a qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you enjoyed that first part. That was actually very fun to commentate on. And I think when we get things like that, it does bring out the best in me. So please keep it up because it is good. It really is. So thank you very much. Good action so far. Please, hopefully we can say the same for the race because like I said, qualifying and race are two completely different things. Of course, these guys are not racing each other and that is where the carnage comes. Do not ready up if you're in the chat. Please do not ready up, everybody. We do not want race restarts or messing around. We want to get straight on with this. Please, can we get a clean sheet for the first round of the season? Everybody, we can do it. And here we go then for the Belgian Grand Prix. F1 Mikey Boy on pole position from Nova Piper on the front row of the group with him in the McLaren in P2. Billy Mewis then in 3 from Somatic Coast at the very end gets into 4. Meloon 5, MCL 6, Sideman 7, Matt Connor 8, 9 is Drippy, and 10 is P33. Then moving out of the top 10, it is Andy J Price 11, Ollie Southall 12, Zazapi 13, Venoms 14, Wizard 15, Blake 16, and Fozy in 17. That is it, everybody, for your qualifying session. Next up is the Grand Prix. That is going to be even better. We can only hope. No! Oh, Whoopi plays. Cheers, 100 bits. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers, Wolfie. I appreciate that. Means a lot. We've had a lot of bits from Wolfie. Of course, you guys are new to me in the commentary, and wow, I mean, Wolfie, I think he sent over 7,000 bits. It's something crazy like that. But he is an absolute legend in the stream. And I'm hoping that nobody's readied up because you never normally quite know from the commentary box until it happens. Or you see somebody in the chat going absolute berserk because somebody's readied up when they've been told not to. But hopefully no one has. Hopefully. We'll find out. Oh, on the grid. I don't know if we was allowed to go. No, we weren't. It was 28 minutes past we were supposed to go. Well, that is it already. Somebody's readied up when they weren't supposed to. I don't know what's going on about. I don't know what's going on about that. Maybe Mikey Boy's going to restart, or we can just carry on. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, absolutely, Wolfie. It does happen, to be fair. I mean, you know, these guys are new. We will go now. I know who readied up. E.T. Giles, Jack Rusty. We're keeping the same lobby, guys. No worries. So we are going. No need for a restart. I'm so thankful. Because, man, you know, when you have to get restarts, especially with 17 drivers, man, it gets long. It gets very long. But superb stuff. Hopefully, everyone in the chat is enjoying this stream so far as much as I am. My first time here today, of course, as you know. First time for most of you actually here today. But this is going to be good for the Grand Prix. And good luck to everybody in the race. Please, just keep it clean. Keep it clean for everybody. We don't want any mess about, really. Just keep it nice and professional, but fun at the same time. And we should have a good race with F1 Mikey Boy starting from pole. I think one of the main men here in WRC as an owner or an admin, and he could be one of the ones that actually dominate this league. We'll find out. We don't actually know who's going to be the dominators of this league. Of course, like I mentioned, qualifying and race are two different things, and you know, I see it quite a lot in commentaries. People will do amazingly well in qualifying, and then it comes to the race and they just completely bottle it, and their pace is nowhere near as good as it was on you know, the one lap in qualifying. It is nowhere near as good, ladies and gentlemen, you know, in the race. So we'll find out, you know, who is better than the others. But I'm wishing everybody the best. Wolfie says in the chat, admin to win the league, bloody hell. Don't curse it, Jack. Yeah, the commentator's curse is pretty bad. As your race strategies on your screen then, 1 stop and 2 stop, mediums to hards, the softs to medium to hard are your strategies that we're looking at today. And the race soon to begin. The race that I believe it's only like 18 laps or something. It's very short, or 22 laps or something like that. I think 22. Yeah, no, it is 22 because I always remember 11 being halfway. So I believe 22 laps, everybody, of the Belgium Grand Prix. And for the first round of the season here in WRC, we're hoping for a good round. Let's get going with it, shall we? The lights build up to 5, then ahead of the drivers, 17 drivers waiting to get racing here in Spa. It's 5 lights. It's lights out, and away we go. F1 Mikey Boy off the line, so is everybody else, and pretty well indeed then. Down into turn 1, the Aston Martin and the Ferrari going side by side through the first corner. They keep it fairly clean so far then, heading through the first few. It's F1 Mikey Boy still leading up towards Rouge. Billy Mewitz gets off well as well behind that. Then there's a 2-car battle with Malone and Somatic Coast, who's managed to get ahead up towards Radion and down the Kemmel straight. Keeping it quite clean at the minute, but behind that, loads of moves going on. I think Malone then getting overtaken. MCL behind that as well in 5, and oh, bit of contact that was there. Maybe a bit of contact from the drivers. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of carnage, but I think it's been fairly clean at the same time. Not seeing a lot of damage at the minute, and the drivers making it through the first few corners. This is looking positive so far, everybody. It really, really is looking very positive. And we're going to have a look at the position changes early on. Most drivers have gained positions. Nova Piper down 14, Andy J. Price down 6, and Southall is down 2. So it's been a bad race for them 3 at the back. But apart from that, everybody's up a place. Everybody has had a very decent one at the minute. F1 Mikey Boy, the only man not to change places at all, and he's still ahead, leading this race at the early stages on lap 1, like I said, of 22. Billy Mewitz in 2nd place then. He's up 1 place since the start. And I think we're looking at Nova Piper, who started in 2nd place, and he's fell down the order massively, completely binned it. But behind that, Drippy and Sidemen, I believe, swap positions there. Drippy getting ahead and now looking like he's on the charge for Matt Connor in front of him. He's absolutely rapid down here. No help of DRS then, of course, on the first lap of the race. He's going to go around the outside and it kicks out, but to try and get ahead of the Haas, it's looking fairly strong at the minute, and he is massively ahead for a moment. But the Haas is fighting back. F1 Mikey Boy with the fastest lap now. Haas can't do anything about it. Drippy stays ahead in this race so far. It is very good racing at the minute. Side by side, then into turn 1. Blake and the McLaren of Venom. Venom gets the inside line there with a bit of a... Oh, the Haas and the Mercedes off onto the gravel traps there. The Red Bull of Fozy getting involved. He dips his car onto the grass stand, but he's side by side with the Haas into Eau Rouge. He's just about ahead. That was very, very close and tight then, heading up the top hill. Oh, and Billy Mewis then gets ahead of F1 Mikey Boy, everybody. He's going to stick it around the outside again. F1 Mikey Boy, not a happy man. He gets back in front, and he doesn't want anybody taking his top spot today. He lost it for a brief moment, but he knew what he was worth, and he wanted that back. He absolutely deserves to be in front right now, because what a move to regain the lead at this moment in time. Billy Mewis in 2nd place. He's still going to try and hang on as much as he can on the 2nd lap of 22. 20 laps to go here in Spa, everybody, and it has been massively clean in my opinion so far compared to what I've seen before on the first round of seasons. Really good stuff, and for saying that it is 7 days ago since this place started, it's quite hard to believe. It really is quite hard to believe. As somebody's left, it is... Oh, hang on, Matt Connor's gone around everybody, and Matt Connor did go around there, losing a few positions. He's down 3 now since the race start, which isn't ideal and what he wanted at all, but we're going to head down now the back straight, the long curving left-hander straight, and we've got a lot of drivers in a bit of a train here. Possibly some moves. I don't think we're going to get any, actually. Maybe a dive up the inside, but right now, not looking like we're going to get much of that at all. Now, what I want to see, everybody, maybe there is some moves going on from behind, but what I'm more interested about just at the minute, F1 Mikey Boy and Billy Mewis, they are 1 and 2, and we normally do see them heading up towards, you know, the Kemmel Straight and down the Kemmel Straight. Normally a move happens there, and that was proven right by these two earlier on. Is it going to happen again? Billy Mewis then is going to get an absolutely superb slipstream to try and gain on F1 Mikey Boy once again. It isn't looking like a move this time. He does stay behind, but does gain closer, and he needs to use that gap to his advantage now to get ahead if possible. Still sat comfortably in P2 on the mediums. Let's have a look at the tyres then, shall we? Majority, on the mediums. There's a few on the hards, but yes, the majority of the drivers are on the medium compound of tyre at this moment in time. Man, it is very good racing here. Let's have a look. Wizard then with a 3-second time penalty. And the first penalty of the afternoon, which is massively impressive then. It really is in my... Oh, my bad. I need to go on Do Not Disturb. That is very much my fault, everybody. Sorry about that. There you go. We're on Do Not Disturb now. As, yes, F1 Mikey Boy still leading this race and having a lovely, lovely shot at a win so far in the very early stages. Billy Muir is behind, Somatic Coast in third. We're going to drop down to the back of the grid, actually, where Fozy and Blake have just swapped positions. And is Blake going to be able to fight back? It is looking like he will. Here we go then. Looking like a move on the Red Bull. He actually lets off the throttle there. Doesn't actually try and go for a move on the outside. Who's that? Got a Fozy all the way off the track, everybody. Voice crack. Fozy off the track on the run-off there. He's down into 15th position. Blake does get ahead, and the gap gets bigger and bigger. But wow, what a start to this race, I've got to admit. We're going to head down the Kemmel Straight again with Billy Mewis then to gain an F1 Mikey Boy, this time even further back than before. MCL gets through past his teammate Somatic Coast, whether that be a team orders decision or you know, a pure battle. Not entirely sure which one it was, but a great race so far. Very, very great, and I hope if you're in the chat you're enjoying this so far as much as I am. It really is good, whether you're in the Jack Crosty Comms chat or the WRC chat. But man, I'm going to enjoy coming back here every week if they want me back. I really am, because this place is superb and the racing is amazing at this moment in time. But, you know, the commentator's curse is quite real. I might have just completely ruined it. But Mikey Boy still ahead as, oh, Billy went pretty wide there on the curb, didn't he? But kept it quite nice. We haven't had any DNFs at the minute. We've only had one penalty too, which is very good going. And really, the only driver to be struggling at the back is Nova Piper, who did leave the session, I believe. So he isn't really driving this car. It's an AI that's, you know, that's dragging it round in the ghosted mode. But the top three looking massively close. Forget that. Actually, the top five looking massively close. The top six, actually, they're all, you know, they're all within touching distance. They really are. I mean, this could absolutely turn out to be a brilliant battle. With the help of the DRS, of course, now as we're on lap 5, been enabled for 4 laps. I mean, head up Eau Rouge. What a corner that is. Really is a cool corner. And we're going to head down the Kemmel Straight with the drivers and the DRS activated. Long DRS train. Will we get anybody making any moves here then? Not looking like it at the minute, but the gap's getting closer and closer. As we'll have a look quickly down at the back. Matt Connor having a battle with Wizard. You saw his back end there snap out just a little bit. He just about caught the car, which is good for him. That could have turned out a lot worse than it was. Oh, what a battle that's shaping up here. Venom then on the backside of Ollie Southall. We're going to get a bit of a move here if he can keep this up and continue this this brilliant driving from him. He does go a little bit wide there, but trying to keep the gap behind. 0.2 of a second at the minute is that gap between Venom and Ollie Southall. And at the minute, I think the McLaren might just be able to get ahead if he can keep up the driving like this. Yala boy in the chat, it's good to see you, mate. How are you doing? I'm really glad to see you, as we are witnessing Venom trying to get ahead of the Mercedes in front of him, which is clearly frustrating him. He knows he's got the pace, but the Mercedes is very good at keeping him behind. And we're going to head down towards the final few corners where a move is possible. He just seems to be losing a bit of time here, though, and I don't think he'll be able to make a dive up the inside to get that working. But in front of that, you can see a move happening here. I think Wizard trying to get ahead, and Wizard nearly spinning around, making contact on the backside of P33, who was trying to get ahead of Matt Connor, keeping himself ahead quite nicely and not letting anybody get through his defences. In the chat, good thank you yourself. I'm very good, mate. Thank you for asking. As Drippy picked up a 3-second time penalty, the second driver to do so, which I've mentioned many times. It is very good, actually. 2 drivers. I've seen a lot worse. As P33 now heading down the Kemmel Straight, where many moves always happen, and the Red Bull pulling up the inside line. Trying to get ahead. He does get ahead past the Haas car and makes that move look very, very easy. Here comes the Haas to switch back on him. Will he be able to go around the outside? Contact is made. The Aston Martin has to try and dodge out of the way. The Haas gets in the middle of this battle here. He sends it up the inside line. He goes deep. The Red Bull gets the inside. They're going side by side, then into the left-hander. The Haas takes the inside. Who will it be? Off the track goes the Red Bull, being forced off there. The Haas comes out ahead. What a battle, everybody. Behind that now is Ollie Southall and P33 having a bit of a battle as Ollie Southall is ahead. P33 has to drop back, and now he's got Venom on his backside. What a turn of events we've got here today. The battles are really shaping up to be great at the back of the grid, also at the front of the grid too, and Venom losing his rears a little bit there, but he could have nearly got ahead of the Red Bull if he had a bit more traction, which he might just be able to fairly soon. The Red Bull ahead of him, who seems to be pulling ahead quite a bit better than he is, as he's got a lovely slipstream ahead with a few drivers up there. The first pit stop coming in, F1 Mikey Boy, the man on pole position, the man that started at the front. He is in the pit lane, everybody. Is Mikey in the pits, in the RP. Tyres getting changed, and it is going to be the hard compound tyres, I believe, as he was on the mediums. It should. Is it the hards? It is the hards, yes. But what a race so far. I've got to say, man, I've said it many times, but for say this league started 7 days ago, you guys are absolutely smashing it. You really are. And here comes the RB on Blake, up the inside, down the Kemmel Straight, makes it look massively easy. And ahead of that as well, moves happening. Wizard and Matt Connor. Matt Connor nearly loses his rear. He just about stays ahead there. Then the Haas has to drop behind. Getting ahead as well is Billy Mewis into the lead for now. MCL now trying to challenge for the front. Of course, the main man went into the pit lane of F1 Mikey Boy and now left these two at the front to battle it out for the race leader, and it's Billy Mewis who just about beats him then in the middle sector. Lots of laps to go, lots of racing left in this race. That is definitely not the deciding order. I think we're going to get some more battles and a few more mix-ups before race end. There's MCL looking massively racy, and I think he wants to get ahead more than anybody has done before. And he's channeling that inner energy, because look at this battle here. MCL looking like he wants to make a move on Billy Mewis. The gap getting smaller and smaller, but the defense from Billy is superb. Will it be enough though, heading into the final corner, that the Ferrari reaches round the outside for a move which will give him the inside into the final corner. He's going to go side by side, but in the pit lane goes Billy Mewis. You can see me there on the camera looking for him, but he's dived into the pit lane. I've just not realised. But yes, Billy goes into the pits then, everybody, in the Kick Sauber, and is the second pit stop today. Now Matt Connor and Van are making the same move. Matt Connor retires in the pits, which is fair enough, of course, retiring the pit lane like we've been asked to do. As up the inside goes F1 Mikey Boy. So P33, I mean, sending a massive move, bit of contact there in Ollie Southall. You know, actually, the first bit of main contact we've actually seen today, which is quite impressive. But equally, I don't think that was his fault. I don't think that was anybody's fault. I think that was just a late lunge. And Wizard with a 3-second time penalty now. Another penalty for the drivers on the grid. We head down the Kemmel Straight once more with Ollie Southall looking like he's getting closer to P33. He passes that Red Bull for a brief moment. They head side by side into the right-hander. Who is going to be the man in front? The inside line is handed to the Mercedes, and he's very easily taking that one with full grasp. Then P9 for Ollie Southall. On the inside goes P33. What is going on? The Red Bull trying to fight this one again. It is side by side, wheel to wheel action here today in Spa, and the Red Bull not letting go of this one at all. He wants that P9. But right now it is not coming his way, as Ollie Southall has defended that one superbly well. We've got Andy J. Price on the backside of Blake as well, as he positions that car, you know, just on the outside line there, trying to get ahead. Not working for him just yet, though. Oh, off the track now. He put a bit too much throttle in there, and the Red Bull of Fosey has to dive out of the way. As then the pit lane goes MCL. Meloon and Drippy all going into the pits now, ladies and gentlemen, for WRC for the first round of the season. If you're in any of the chats, I hope you're enjoying so far tonight. It's been a really fun race. It really has. I've not stopped talking the whole thing. As Drippy in the pit lane, MCL in the pit lane, like I mentioned, and Meloon, and lots of drivers coming in now, actually. Lots and lots of drivers. Wizard, P33, Blake, Fosey, all deciding to do the same thing. So pit window is definitely now, and you know the optimal lap to stop, clearly, for the drivers, was this one. All going in on the exact same one. And now we're going to find out who gets ahead. These guys going side by side up. Eau Rouge, Meloon and Andy J. Price spin around at the top of Eau Rouge then. As Meloon down behind him, they saved that very well. They saved that extremely well. Fair play. As F1 Mikey Boy back up to 4th. And it is the top 3 that need to make a pit stop. So right now, the RB of Mikey in a good position. He really, really is. And that pit stop has worked out well for him, because he will be the man in front when they actually make their pit stops today, their scheduled pit stops. But only 2 laps to go before half race distance, everybody, which is crazy to even comprehend, because how fast has that gone? As Meloon with a 3-second time penalty and another one on the grid, but only 3 drivers have one, which is really, really impressive then, nearly halfway through the race. And the drivers driving a superb race. I've got to give it to them. Really, really well done from everybody here today. It is good, good action that we are seeing. As there you go, there's one driver into the pit lane, the Ferrari of Somatic Coast in the pits, going on for the hards. He left it a lap later as Zazapi goes in 2, and that just leaves Sidemen being the man up at the top and the only driver not pitted yet up at the front. But it is an RB12 right now, which of course will not be staying that way, as he needs to make a pit stop. And he's 8 seconds ahead of his teammate right now. Mikey in the provisional lead, just waiting for his teammate to make that stop. And then he can be the man who takes all the glory up at the front. Ollie Southall in 3 with Billy Mewis getting quite close behind. We're looking like a definite move here. Here comes the kick Sauber round the outside line, and he makes a stunning move down the Kemmel Straight here in Spa. Billy into 3rd place and on the final spot on the podium for him this afternoon. It's a sensational move, and easily through as Venom picks up a time penalty, making it 4 people. Here comes the Haas then, sticking it up the inside line, a bit of contact there with the McLaren, who goes off the track. Does break there to not gain an advantage, which is fair racing from all the boys here today. Venom and Blake, they go side by side. Venom gets ahead, Blake moves out of the way, and it's an easy move for Venom there, who very much so gets into the lead then of that little battle they're having right now. We're very nearly half race distance now then, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Connor, the only driver to retire here today, but we've only really got 15 people still racing, as Nova Piper did leave the session earlier, leaving 15 actual people racing in this race. But yeah, if you're in the chat, let me know if that WRC World Racing Championship race thing on top of the timing boards that I've put on looks good. I didn't know if it was going to look like tacky or anything, because obviously I've made that colour block that goes behind the letters and the logo. I didn't know if it was going to look bad or not, but looks class. Okay, good. Very happy about that. Thank you. I just obviously I wanted to make it look what's the word? I don't even know what the word is. Just wanted to make it look like original. Have you got one for quality as well? Says yo, yes, I'll show you really quickly. If you take that off, quality. There you go, mate. You can change it to qualifying. But yes. But a great race so far, and I'll definitely be using that card, you know, on all the leagues that I commentate on now. As a battle here with P33 getting ahead of Blake, an easy move, and the Red Bull finds himself ahead of the Haas. For half race distance now, and some of the battles dying down equally. Most of them still going, and we've got the Ferrari of Somatic Coast and Ollie Southall looking like they want a bit of a battle here. Somatic Coast did go in the pit lane, got on the brand new hard compound tyres, 1 lap old. They are baby age at the minute, and he is looking like he wants to make a move on Ollie, but right now just not close enough to do anything like that. Was ahead of that Sidemen then in the pit lane. He finally makes that stop and makes way for his teammate Mikey Boy to get ahead. Here's Sidemen with the new tyres, and it should be the mediums now, actually. It is the mediums, yes, as of course he went longer. He was on the hards anyway, so he had to make a stop onto new tyres at some point in the race for it to be legal. But over half race distance now, Billy Mewis has had a decent race at the minute. We're going to check the position changes again. He's up 1 place since the start, so he did start third. Sidemen gets a penalty. The only 2 drivers. Oh, hang on a minute. Somatic goes through past Ollie Southall. Lovely move in the Ferrari. 1 place closer to his teammate. Could the Ferrari bring it home together? But like I mentioned, and you know, if you went to the chat earlier on and now you are, I'll mention it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got post-race interviews that we are doing tonight after this race with some of the drivers that feel like it. Ooh, battling. Lovely battling going on here from Ollie Southall and Sidemen as he does try and get up the inside line. Sidemen makes a brilliant move. Will it be ahead though? He will be ahead of Ollie. Can he hold it? He does. Lovely stuff. But back to what I was saying, post-race interviews coming later for the drivers that want it, so that will be on the stream. If you want to watch a bit of that, make sure you stay after the race end, everybody, because that will be what we are doing. We will try and get through as many as possible, but of course if you don't want to do it, there's no need to do it at all, but you have to let me know. Maloon then in the Aston Martin, looking like he went off the track a little bit there, set him off guard, and now he's in P8 as we'll look back up in front. A lovely camera angle that is, I've got to admit. As we head up towards the line, then you can see the 2 kick Saubers, bright green, just shining then down the main straight. Somatic Coast with the fastest lap at this moment in time is F1 Mikey Boy. He is 6.8 seconds ahead of the pack right now and driving a superb race. Billy Mewis is in second place with MCL behind him, trying to keep him on his toes, and that is exactly what the Ferrari is doing now. This time he's had enough of that. He wants to be the man in second place, and he's looking like he can do it quite easily. Here is the move for you. Then the Ferrari sends it on the kick Sauber, and he takes second place for now. Now this is where we see it. Switchback of dreams then. Is the kick Sauber going to do that, or will he stay behind? He stays behind. We don't see a fighting comeback here. Kick Sauber nearly does it. He very nearly does it. Pushes him through the corner, but it isn't a move at the minute. But a great move then from MCL, who gets into second place.
over half race distance now, and the race going by quite nicely and quick, and I'm really enjoying what I've seen so far. Like I mentioned, this league, everybody, started 7 days ago, and the racing has been super clean, super clean. I really don't think they're going to get many incidents, the stewards, tonight, because it hasn't been that bad. There's been a few little, you know, things. I've had to pick at it, but, you know, it's been good. It's been very good. And here is MCL trying to stay ahead of Billy Mewis. We'll see as Blake gets ahead of Posey as well down the back of the grid. And Billy looking like he wants to move on MCL to try and take back what is his. He is this close behind him. And you got to think, we've got a massive long straight coming up. We're going to get a move. We are definitely going to get a move here. It's going to happen again. The same way we saw it happen earlier on, but the opposite way around. And Billy Mewis looking for a move then. Heading up Eau Rouge over the top of Radion, down the Kemmel straight once more. Mewis is looking for this second place, and he takes it for a brief moment. He does get ahead, gets ahead quite nicely, but can MCL do anything to try and take it back? A brilliant move from Billy. Now, this is normally where we see the car behind fight back, but MCL is absolutely nowhere near to do so, and, you know, really got put off guard there. But if you're in the chat, let me know if you've enjoyed the commentary tonight, everybody. I have massively enjoyed doing this so far. And the racing not really died down at all yet, has it? We keep having, you know, slight little battles at every overtaking zone, and it is very nice to see. Sidemen now on Drippy, looking like he wants to make a move. Not getting ahead just yet. In the WRC chat, Leroy Biscuit, good racing and comms, he says, thank you, mate. Definitely agree with you with the good racing. It's been very nice indeed. But can Sideman make a move here on Drippy? Drippy lets him get ahead pretty much. He goes very wide on that corner and lets Sidemen through. Lovely move, but you know, didn't really have to put much into that one, did he? Up Eau Rouge. As Drippy now gets a 3-second time penalty as we head all the way down the Kemmel straight with Drippy on the backside of Sidemen, trying to take that move back, and he does take that move back. Will it be for definite though, is Sidemen looking like he wants to get ahead once more and looking quite strong on the backside of the Kick Sauber. Didn't take a decent line through there though, and it just wasn't fast enough to keep up with Drippy just yet. Wizard then up Eau Rouge, P33 behind that, and Andy J. Venom behind. Wait, Pee-wee? Oh, it is. Oh my. Oh, thank you very much for telling me, mate. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise. Pee-wee. Yes, of course. I can see that now. That's actually quite funny that I was pronouncing like that. My bad. I get it now. Pee-wee. Yes, Pee-wee. There we go. P33. Oh my. I think sometimes, mate, I just don't read it properly and then just say what I see. Do you know what I mean? But yes, Pee-wee in P11. He's got a man ahead of him, a Wizard, who actually went so far off, he picked up a 3-second time penalty just then. As the laps are ticking by, and they go by so fast here in Spa, I've got to admit. I mean, I think it's some psychological thing, you know, where only 22 laps. I know they're longer than usual, but only 22. It doesn't feel as long as the usual races, it really doesn't. And I think it's also partly down, of course, to the good racing. P33 sounds more like a race, so yeah, that's maybe why I said it, you know. Ollie in the pit lane, then in the Mercedes, and he is on the hards right now, so we're maybe looking for the mediums here later stages in the race too, so it probably is the mediums, it is, as he goes out of the pit lane on the brand new medium compound tyres. Oh, side by side. Oh, and they take each other off onto the gravel. Through goes Somatic Coast. Sidemen and Drippy off the track at the same time into the gravel. They both get on the track together, but Somatic Coast, he had a lovely door opening up the inside line. He said thank you very much, and he took it quite easily, didn't he? Now into 4th place and back in the same position as where he started, so that's helped him out quite massively. But F1 Mikey boy, I mean, it's been good so far, isn't it? 7.2 seconds ahead of MCL in second. Oh, what's going on here then? A few moves looking like they're going on at the back. We'll try and get a grasp on it. Venom then in the 11. Andy J. Price is behind that, and he runs it a bit wide, but he actually saw a bit of grass on his tyres there. Sideman picks up a 3-second time penalty. I believe that's another one for him, as we have got Andy J. Price gunning down on Venom, and you know what, they're all gunning down on each other right now, all within touching distance, everybody, and this could be, you know, it could shape up to be a brilliant battle. If you're still in the Jack Crossley Comms chat, everybody, let me know. We'll have to see if you're in there. If you are in there, drop us in a race prediction. In either of the chats, actually, give us a race prediction. Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix then for round 1 here in WRC? Look at this from behind. Look at this from behind then. Oh, within touching distance and up the inside line goes Ollie Southall then with a move nearly on 2 drivers. He is ahead of the Haas for now though, wheel banging, just about nearly got ahead of Andy J. Price as well, but it didn't work out for him on both occasions, and now he's back in the same position, and P14 didn't get ahead after making a very nice dive up the inside. Blake with a 3-second penalty now. We are witnessing a brilliant battle here. Ollie Southall getting through past 1, getting through past 2, and he takes P11, everybody, in the Mercedes. What a dive, what a move, and he makes a double overtake down the Camel Straight. It's Ollie into 11, Andy in 12, Blake 13, and Venom in 14 at the end of that little battle just there. But what a, you know, what a race we're witnessing so far. Lap 17 of 22. Well into the latter stages now. This is really good so far, it really is. Mikey then 8 seconds nearly ahead of the pack. Just driving a superb race, and, you know, clearly his qualifying pace is pretty much on par with his race pace, because it has worked out for him today. Not really got in many scraps or any, you know, nothing really that's threw him off. He made his pit stop early, got it out of the way, went on to the brand new tyres of the hards. And clearly that strategy has worked a dream for him, as Billy Mewis, equally, it's gone his way too, but he has got MCL behind him and pretty close as well. Wizard with a 3-second time penalty now. Ooh, maybe a battle here. Wizard on Ollie Southall. They're going side by side then through the right-hander. Here comes the Aston Martin on the Mercedes. Will it be a move? He does have to stick behind, but he's massively close. And he's within an overtaking distance as well, but maybe Ollie Southall's on the backside of Pee-wee now. Can the Mercedes make that lunge? Can he get ahead of the Red Bull? Can he throw him off? In the chat says Leroy, be interesting to see the results with all these penalties. You're absolutely right, yes, because they can throw a lot of the you know, the places around and mess it up quite a lot. The Williams puts his hand up there as Wizard makes a bit of contact with him, or they both make contact with each other, might I add. My apologies, everybody. I clicked the wrong button. My bad. Oh, contact to the Aston Martin hits the Williams. They both nearly go into the pit lane by accident there as we head round and up towards the main straight. I've just seen a few position changes as well up at the front as MCL gets ahead of Billy Mewis, I believe. And that was I think it was a lovely move, but I didn't really see it, unfortunately. I didn't catch that one. Getting a bit naughty now, says Leroy Biscuit. As our Wizard and Andy J. Price as well, they have a bit of a scrap at the back. Here comes Blake. Did you see the closing speed with him? That could have been a move. That definitely could have been a move if he had a few more meters. But let's give it till next lap. And it could be his day, everybody, here today. Oh, off the track for Andy J. Price. Now he's slingshot back in. Up the inside, he's through past Wizard. That was a lovely move. That was a really, really lovely move. Then he makes a brilliant move on Wizard, and he finds himself into P11. Wizard has to drop back. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but he seemed like he slingshotted across and then sent it through, and it worked. But now Venom is the man that wants to make a move on Blake, and it could be on the cards. Could be on the cards indeed. Here we go then, up towards the final few corners with only 2 remaining laps of this Grand Prix now, everybody. Just can't get close enough. But ahead of that, the Aston Martin of Wizard looking for that move on Andy. Ahead of that as well, we've got Drippy on the backside of Sidemen. Here he goes then, round the outside. He gets through really, really early and marks his territory in P5 now, ahead of Sidemen. Billy Mewis on the backside of MCL 85 as well. Are we going to get any move here? Any position changes before the race end? Only 3 laps, including this one. MCL's back end then sliding out there. Just about catches it. Billy Mewis not been able to capitalise on that just yet. So a few time penalties across the grid then, but we have got 21 laps in, 2 laps to go. We are on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, and F1 Mikey Boy is making his first lap, you know, over a car, and that is Nova Piper, who is an AI, which maybe explains why he's been able to lap him quite easily. Penultimate lap, and hopefully we can see a move before the end. Some of the drivers, you know, one of the main things I actually want to look out for is Billy and MCL. Is there going to be, you know, possibly a final lap move or even penultimate lap move here today, you know, before the end? Venom with a 3-second time penalty too, and like we had in the chat earlier on, it's exciting to see, you know, where the drivers are going to end up with those time penalties. It really is. But we will find out. We will find out, everybody, which way they end up. And Wizard gets a 3-second time penalty. As Venom and Wizard do switch positions, and we head down the back straight with Billy and MCL for a move. Possibly. Isn't really looking on the cards yet, but the final lap is about to begin. With F1 Mikey Boy starting it now. How fast has this race gone? Lap 22 of 22 begins into the final corner. Billy Mewis massively close to MCL, looking like he wants to make a move. Wizard in the chat. Wizard, sorry, Leroy in the chat. Wizard going to end up behind Nova Piper with all these penalties. Yep. We'll see where he ends up. But MCL really is driving brilliantly and getting ahead of Billy quite nicely. We're going to stay on board with this just down towards the end of rally on. Billy now picks up a time penalty, so even if he does get ahead, actually, now it's all ruined for him. And MCL, you know, more than likely, he's going to be able to hold P2. That is it. I think that's it. I think that's going to be it for him. Not really looking like he's got many more places to overtake apart from the back straight. We head down the straight with these drivers as well. So Zappi and Maloon and Sidemen, but they're all quite spaced out now and not really too much going on anymore at the end of this race. Billy Mewis looking like he wants to make a move on MCL. And right now, looking like he's going to make it work. Up the inside line, if it weren't for his penalty, he could have held P2. He is ahead for now, through past the Ferrari. Will the Ferrari make a mistake, which is going to make a 3-second gap? More than likely not. The Ferrari sends it to the inside. He can't get ahead. The Ferrari has to drop back, everybody. But, wow, what a race it has been. Billy does get ahead in P2, but we go to F1 Mikey Boy. On the first round of the season, everybody, here in WRC, he is absolutely dominated with a gap of 10 seconds to the man in P2. Complete and utter domination here today in Spa. He crosses the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix here in WRC for round one. F1 Mikey Boy wins the first round of the season and the first race ever here in WRC. Billy Mewis over the line. He takes second place on the track, but on penalties, he drops all the way to fourth. It's a Ferrari 2-3 here in the Grand Prix with MCL 2, Somatic Coast 3. Billy Mewis 4, then with the Kick Sauber again in 5, Drippy 5, Zazapi 6 with Maloon 7, Sidemen takes 8. It's Pee-wee who will be coming up towards the line soon, then in P9. What a race that was, everybody, and fair play to everybody, because that was a very good first race. Very clean, in my honest opinion. And Pee-wee over the line, then he takes 10 on penalties. Andy J. Price, 9. Blake over the line in 11. Now he gets to 12 as Ollie Southall goes up because of everyone else's penalties. He's 11. I missed the end of that, actually. Ollie Southall, it was 11. Blake 12, Venom 13, Wizard 14, Fozy 15, Nova Piper in 16th position, ladies and gents. Wow, what a race. Here we go then, everybody. Finish the results here today in Spa. It's the race winner of F1 Mikey Boy. Fastest lap, Sidemen. Driver of the day, Ollie Southall. Most overtakes, Ollie Southall. And cleanest driver, Somatic Coast. F1 Mikey then wins the Grand Prix with MCL P2 and Somatic Coast with the final spots on the podium in third. 4 then is Billy Mewis, everybody, with Drippy 5, Zazapi 6, Maloon 7, Sideman 8, Andy J. Price 9, and Pee-wee in 10. Ollie Southall 11, Blake 12, Fozy 13, Venom 14, 15 Wizard, 16 Nova Piper, 17 Matt Connor. That's it for the race then, everybody. Next up is the race interviews. And I'm going to get in... Oh, I've gone in the wrong chat. Hang on a minute. Right then, 2 seconds, everyone, before we start. Hang on. Just gonna get this sorted. Right, for everyone in the stream, the post-race interviews screen is looking pretty bad. My face cam is not on tonight, and you can't really see the Discord call very well because there's 3 of us in here. But you get the gist of it. You're still going to be able to hear everybody. And we've got a top 3 interview starting off tonight with F1 Mikey Boy. If you're right for us to interview you first, mate.
Yeah, of course.
Good stuff. I mean, first of all, actually, before we do your interview, mate, honestly, for saying that you started 7 days ago, what a league! That was a great race, in my opinion. Really clean. For saying that, that is 7 days ago. Really good, man. Um, but
Basically, yeah, no, we all race quite regularly together, so
it makes sense.
it's not. Yeah, we don't deserve too much credit, but there's a couple of guys in there we've never raced with before, and I feel like there wasn't anything too dramatic, which is great to see.
Yeah, good stuff. But of course, we saw you take the win today by 10 seconds. Just give us your whole thoughts on the race, first of all.
I'm just as surprised as everyone else, to be honest, because anyone that knows me knows I can't do a one stop for starters. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm very surprised. I was worried about the rain at the end because it kept saying it was going to rain, but luckily it didn't. And I think Billy and Mike fighting a bit did help me out. So yeah, I'm just happy to get the win and see a good first night of racing.
Good stuff. Do you think here in Spa, is there any particular corner that you were struggling with the whole race, or do you think you were just smooth sailing the whole thing?
Turn one, I absolutely hate turn one.
Really?
Yeah. Qualifying, the start of quali, I did 2 runs just in case I messed up the first corner because that's just something I like to do. And I would say the long left-hander.
Yeah.
I don't know what turn that is. It's very easy to get track limits there. So every time I went to that point, I just chucked it in none and took my time around there. So I was very cautious. Once I had the gap, I thought, yeah, I don't need to take any risks here.
Good stuff. And then finally, going into the next round, it is the USA. I believe that'll be Kota. Do you fancy your chances?
It's another track that I like. At the minute, I'm looking at the calendar and thinking I need to pick up points where it's not likely to rain, and I'd like to say that's one of them. So yeah, I think I'll be at the top end of the leaderboard for that. Hopefully, I'll be disappointed if not. But again, I think now that people can see the speed, I think a lot of people are going to be putting in some practice. So it's up in the air, let's say.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much for your time, mate. We'll move on to second place.
Thank you very much.
But thank you very much for coming in for the interview, and well done on your P1 today. Right then, MCL, is that how I'm pronouncing it? I've been saying that the whole stream.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
yeah,
good stuff.
That's all good.
Well, P2 for you, just give us your main thoughts on the race. What do you think?
Really well done to Mikey Boy. Deserved to win that. I think, like you've already covered, me and Billy give Mikey the race because we were fighting with each other. But it was a really good race, and there was some racecraft going on towards the end. I know I had my teammate behind me, so we had to do some work.
The last few laps, I was looking at the battle that was unfolding. How worried were you? Were you? Hang on, were you the man in front or behind? I can't remember. It was you and Billy Mewis, wasn't it?
Yes. So Billy finished ahead of me on track, but he had a 3-second penalty. So I was just trying to challenge him.
Well, I'm going to go for the same question. Of course, here in Spa, it can be very tricky, especially in bad conditions. You guys got lucky today. It was absolutely brilliant. But is there any particular corner you were struggling with, or, like I said, was it smooth sailing for you? Oh, hello. I think it cut out a little bit, mate.
There you go. Chat went. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah,
That's
good
all right.
race.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but he's out. He did very well, second place anyway. And we're going to go on to the third place, which was Somatic Coast. How are you doing, mate? Very well done, getting onto the podium there. And I kept seeing you on the leaderboard. It was good to see you doing fairly well at the very end. Give us your general thoughts on the race tonight, mate.
Yeah, I'm relatively happy with it. I think my teammate, to be honest, he had backed me up at the end. We were working the whole race, so it was good to get a double podium. yeah, Mikey just managed to run away, so it was a fight for second, but we'll get him next race.
Absolutely. And of course, 8-round season. Next week we're going to Kota. So you fancy your chances there? Is it a track that you're strong at, or is it something that you just want to get over with?
I like the track. So I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Just track limits, as long as that's no warnings, we're good. At this race, no warnings, so honestly, I think pace should be all right there.
Good to hear. And we'll wrap it off with the championship. I was talking about earlier on the stream. Obviously, only 8 rounds, so every race counts, and that is some decent points for you already on the board. Do you fancy your chances in the championship? Where do you think you're going to end up on the leaderboard come season end?
Well, anyone who's raced with me before knows I only go for first, so we know where I'm going to be.
Fair enough.
Season.
I love to hear that. Absolutely brilliant. Good stuff. Well, thank you for your time, mate. That's really good. And hopefully we'll speak to you again in an interview.
Right.
Thanks for the comms, Jack. Great comms, mate.
I appreciate that. Thank you, mate. I've really enjoyed joining as well. I think I messaged you. I said I've not commentated the new league for so long. I was a bit nervous, but
yeah, I was nervous too.
But no, I've enjoyed it.
I was watching the stream. Literally, I had it on my iPad. I was watching it the whole time, thinking, "Please, no one bottle it and bomb down into a corner or something."
No, it was actually really good, to be fair, wasn't it? So good stuff. Wow, voice crack. Good stuff. Yes. No worries, mate. Well,
cheers, mate.
I'll let you all go and I'll wrap up the stream. But thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, mate.
See you in a bit. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the post-race interviews. That is it for the first round of the season. I hope you all enjoyed. It was very, very fun indeed. It really, really was. And hoping I'll be back next week and hoping you guys want to join and watch that again. We can do it once more in Kota, and we'll see you then. Same time, same place. Have a good evening and good night, everybody.